Good morning, everybody. I'm going to be opening up this coffee with the board this morning. Before we get started, just wanted to let you know that we are starting a pilot program with the trustees here regarding coffee with the board moving forward. In the past, we've had some issues with canceling of meetings and having attendance issues here and some communication issues. So what I've done is I've created a pilot program for our trustees where I've assigned 2 trustees a date for every coffee with the board moving forward. And if one of those 2 trustees assigned to the coffee with the board that month is unable to make it for whatever reason, they will cancel that meeting. This way, moving forward, we should have a little bit more structure and a little bit more consistency with our meetings moving forward. This allows for other trustees to be able to utilize their time and plan accordingly, especially if it's not their month moving forward. But if it is their month, we do understand that things come up. Things happen, but if one of those 2 assigned trustees can't make it for that day, it will be canceled moving forward. So that's the 6-month pilot program that we're testing out here. And 6 months from now, we'll revisit it to see if it's working. So other than that, go ahead and open the floor.
You just talked about the pilot program. Let's say someone can't make it. Would it be in our best interest to reach out to other trustees and say, hey, I'm unable to make it, can you fill in for me?
Yeah, that's a good point that you make there, and that's something that we consider. But the thing about that is that we also have to consider every other trustee's time and efforts that are up here as well. Is that we've had consistent trustees showing up and some not. So to be fair and consistent with all trustees, it's only fair that we hold them accountable. And I understand that we might be able to make the quorum. However, we shouldn't be last minute scrambling to find an alternate or somebody to fill in for those assigned places. And I think that's only respectful of everybody else's time up here.
Not only that, coffee with the board is just like an extra. We don't even need to have it. So we're here today. Let's talk about village matters and be done with the whole.
You say it's not necessary. This is our forum to be able to talk. And you go to a board meeting, you get maybe 3 minutes, and there's an agenda. This is our time.
That's
Well,
exactly,
it's also our time too.
that's exactly why.
Well, you chose to be a trustee. If you don't want to do what's required, then don't do it.
Well, hold on. I want to stop right there for a second. Hold on. It's not about doing what you want to do or what not. It's about consistency.
Oh, I get
And
that.
what I'm getting at here is by assigning trustees a month to be able to come here, it makes it fair for everybody for their time as well. So what I believe Trustee Kozar is saying is let's get down to village matters. We're not saying that coffee with the board is that we don't want to have it.
Well, no,
We
but
want
he
more
made it sound like it's nothing. It's, we don't even have to do this. No, this is our time.
Sure, and that's why
So
we have
don't
this.
take our time away and talk as if it's not necessary. This is the only place and the only time where we can say whatever we need to say without signing up, agendas and all that stuff. This is our time.
Sure, absolutely.
And that's all I'm saying. I understand your program and it makes perfect sense. It's just I didn't like to comment that, well, this isn't even necessary. Yeah, it is for us. It is
But
necessary.
you still have email. You can still reach out to individual trustees. Like the obligation of the trustees
Not the same.
is the board meeting.
I would like to respectfully interrupt because I am somebody who, when I was sitting where you are, this was my forum. I really do
Right.
like this structure. But as I sit here, I also feel the frustration because I am one of the people who show up consistently, and I
Yes.
have showed up consistently.
Yes.
There are people here whose seats have consistently been empty. And
Oh,
I feel
agree.
like here, I don't wanna be the one that continually carries this program,
Mhm.
which I love. But why am I then expected to be the one that carries it and continues to.
No, I agree
And
with the
continues
program.
to carry this and keep it open. But
Agreed.
consistently, it's just us. And so it does need to change. We do need to have this kind of conversation where, and a respectful conversation where we say, yes, it's important for us to continue to maintain an area where we can have this open forum. But we do also have to have some accountability where everybody here on the board then says, yes, we do feel that this is valuable, so that people like me who have shown up almost always
Yes.
don't have to be away from my family once a month
Oh, I
on
agree
Saturday.
completely.
That's where I
agree.
feel, so I understand.
And Al, just a second, I'll get right to you in a
Change the
second.
topic.
What I'll say too is one of the other things, and I'm glad you brought this up, because public comment are allowing our public to interact and have this interaction is a good thing. So I copied what trustee Fano was saying. But one of the things that we're also doing, moving forward too, is that we're gonna have 2 town hall meetings a year.
Oh,
And that's something that I'm excited about, and I think everybody up here should be excited about as well.
that's
This is gonna
excellent.
be another opportunity for us to host a nice big event. We're gonna make an event of this, so that way our community can come in, have a Q&A, you could get a state of the union, a state of the address, not just from board members, but staff members as well to do updates. But also, there's been a lot of changes with our commissions. So one of the things that we're gonna be doing is having each of our commissions present at these town halls. So it's almost like their, I'll call it like a trade show display, where our residents can come in and interact with our commissions, understand what they're doing, what they've been
That
doing,
sounds awesome.
what the direction is. We are still working on the details, but
Yeah.
tentatively right now, it looks like the first town hall will be Friday, December 12th, from 6 to 8 p.m. That's not set in stone yet,
Mhm.
that's just a tentative date for our first one moving forward. And then I'd like to have one about every 6 months or so, so probably in June or July of next year, just to reiterate of that. Al?
Yeah, I was wondering this week, I want a little clarification. Fire Station 81 is going to be remodeled and brought up to code and able to accommodate them better. And in the meantime, we're going to be going into what was the Iowa Community Center. And that's having to be some redesign there so they can fit all the equipment in there. And the long range goal is Station 82 then, and when 81 is done, will be redone, and they'll be moving into Iowa Community Center for. My question is, why don't we just have Station 82 permanently in the Iowa Community Center? And then demolish what's 82 right now. We're going through all this money to bring that up to be able to accommodate. Why don't we just move them?
Yeah, that's a great idea, and these are conversations that we've been having, especially in executive session regarding, we need more firefighters. We need more firefighters. We need to be able to house them as well, and right now, there is no room for more people, more living quarters. This is part of the reason for the restructuring and getting it up to
Yeah,
code.
one of the reasons too is nowadays, not like the old days, all the firefighters were male.
Yeah,
Now you have male and
Yeah.
female, so you have to make accommodations for 2 sexes.
and that's what we're doing, but those are ideas that we are talking about in the future here. This is gonna be years down the road though, because it is gonna take time for this project. One of the things that we're planning on doing is maybe even sending some of those ideas to our new plan commission, so that way moving forward, we can maybe start solidifying some of those ideas. But I don't disagree with you, I think that might be a good idea, it's a possible solution, but we're looking at all sorts of solutions right
What was the dollar amount for redoing the Iowa Community Center,
now. For the new renovations,
for what they're making?
I don't have that information on
But
it.
it had to be over a few $100,000, I would guess.
Sure, I mean, we've been talking also about potential of buying other properties that might fit for something like that, but these are things that are all just preliminary stages, we're just in discussions about what we wanna do with that right now.
But I think you're coming up kind of quick, and maybe have the decision for what's gonna happen in the next 3 years or something.
So, yeah, I mean, we're in discussions about that, about
Okay.
what we have going on.
I have to comment, it wasn't around 100,000, it's a lot less actually, because the quotation included, the changes to, the outer fire station as well as Iowa Community Center. They're just retrofitting doors and putting
Right.
a bathroom for now.
Well, I just threw that out there, I don't
Temporary,
know what the number is.
Yeah, temporary, so it's a lot less than that, but I don't know what the plans are in the future, but for now, as far as plans are concerned, it will be storage after this point in time. Here, not because of anything, it would need a lot more work, it would be a total redo, and then we'll have the train tracks in between, which is also a problem for our south side people versus our north side people.
Well, that's why we have 2 stations.
Yeah, 2 stations, so, if we consolidate, it would be into 1 station, which, for revenue, I mean, basically for an expense purpose, and then it comes to that question, what do we do with the train tracks? So, right now, we're kinda having that discussion, what is preferred by the fire, our fire, force, basically, what do they prefer? But we haven't actually solidified the plan.
Does that answer some of your questions?
Causes a lot more, but I'm not gonna get into it now.
Feel free to reach out, email me if you have questions, and I'll try to get them answered as best I can.
Well, that's what this is, right in here.
Well, what's your specific question that you want answered?
No, I just wondered if those that would be considered, and you answered it yes.
Because I thought you just said that you have more questions now after listening.
Well, it comes into dollar amounts and accommodation, all different types of
Okay,
things.
so that's what I meant, is if you have more
Okay.
questions further going forward, reach out to me, I'll get those answers for you.
Kevin, perhaps, I didn't want to start furflying here, but maybe the word I was looking for was to, like, if, you have an elderly parent that's sick, can they switch days versus someone filling in?
No,
So like if Nika's kid broke their arm and they know 2 weeks in advance, she can't say, hey, can you take my April and I'll take your May?
no,
Okay, that's what I meant.
Schedule it.
no, this is a pilot program and we are trying to be consistent so that way we don't have to do
Okay,
this.
that's,
Now, like I said earlier, if problems arise, and they do, that's okay, but due to respecting everybody's time up here, we're going to just cancel the meeting.
okay. Another question, when Matt Harline was here, he had come to a commission, Parks and Recreation Commission meeting and said that they were in the very infantile stages of talking with the school boards about doing a kind of, village, school board type pool thing. Where, like they pay half, we pay half, and, is that still in?
So nothing finalized has come to my desk from District 88. However, talking with Superintendent Jean over there, is that those are ideas that have been floated around over there. So once they come up with a proposition or something that they might want to enter into IGA with the village with, I will let everybody
I just wondered if
listen.
that just kind of got lost, or if it's still kind of present.
No, but the need for a new pool is a necessity in Villa Park, and that if you were to tune into our latest Community Recreation Commission meeting, is that was one of their very first priorities, even being their main priority for a 10-year program, to create a 10-year plan, so that way we can achieve one of those goals.
I have a question regarding, those people that go around knocking doors, want you to change your phone or electricity or whatever.
Yeah.
A company came by our house, I never, I just say, no, thank you. This company committed fraud.
Okay.
They forged my signature on a piece of paper. I had to go to my bank, shut off, I completely closed my checking account,
That's horrible.
reopen another one, change all my direct deposits. But because they forged my signature, the bank is doing a fraud investigation. do I need to notify, and I don't even remember the name, I've got it written down at home. Do I need to notify the village because,
What I would do in a case like that is not necessarily the village, but call the police, make a police report.
oh, okay,
We do have a no solicitation ordinance here in town that prohibits that.
yeah,
But any kind of solicitor does need to get a permit for that,
Yeah.
to get verified.
indeed.
Now, you can remember a few months ago when all the storms came through and we had issues with all of
yeah.
these people coming through and knocking on doors, that is an issue. It's something that we did address with our current police chief, and unfortunately, there are a lot of those companies that actually went through the process to get those permits. Now, there were a handful of others that didn't. In that case, I would recommend you can ask to see their village permit
Mm-hmm,
and their ID.
Oh.
They're required to wear it and
Mhm.
present it if you ask it, and if they don't, that can prompt you to call the police and say, there's somebody here that's soliciting that doesn't have that. To that point though, the importance of that is exactly what you're talking about with your instance, is there's people out there that will
oh,
prey
anything.
on, especially senior citizens,
Mhm.
or what have you. And think of your situation, how hard that would be for an elderly person.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, I strongly encourage you to call the police and report it if they cannot produce a permit. Because that's not only protecting you, but it's protecting the rest of our residents and the
Oh,
rest of your
yeah.
neighbors, so.
Yeah, I was appalled when I saw the paper.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
it's obviously not my signature.
If you want.
And they went straight into my checking account. I don't let anybody take money directly out of my checking account, except my car insurance, that's it.
If you want, in particular with your instance, is that you still can file a police report here in
Yeah.
Oak Park. A lot of people have drone cameras now as well.
That was something I thought about.
Sometimes, these solicitors will hand out a card or some way of communicating with them. All of that would be evidence to help the police department and or like your, bank fraud department to help them get to the bottom of. But unfortunately, right now, we really have to look out for one another.
Oh,
And-
absolutely, I was appalled.
Yeah.
The audacity to, and then go into my bank account, and I'm like, I know this is fraudulent, I don't let anybody do that,
Yeah.
never.
Just to interrupt really quick, everybody, coffee and donuts have arrived. They're right over here.
Brianna?
Feel free, grab a hot cup or a donut.
Just to piggyback, the no solicitation stickers, yeah, one time were available, and I have a lot of people that walk by my door because I have the no solicitation on my window.
Where do you get those
And if
stickers?
you ask the people right away when they approach you, do you have a permit to solicit it in the village, they'll say, oh, I got my state permit. No, their state permit is their
That's right.
permit to work in the state of Illinois, and I'll say, no, you need a soliciting permit. And with that, they usually scamper like rats.
Yeah.
Ah,
Those no
good, thank
soliciting
you.
signs, you can go to our local Ace Hardware over here.
I think they
Oh,
have,
okay.
I thought they had them at the village halls where I got mine.
I'm not sure about that right now, but if you wanted, Ace
Yeah, I don't
Hardware
mind
has
buying
them in
one from
ours,
Hardware, yeah.
they're a couple bucks.
Can
Do
we
they
share-
adhere to that? Do the solicitors even recognize them? Sometimes they don't. Sometimes I have them on my door and I still have solicitors come every once in a while.
Kevin, can we ask Cheryl, she might.
So we do have no soliciting stickers here at the village in Village Hall. They're over by finance if you pay your water bill. We also have them in the manager's office. We will give you as many as you'd like. You can just peel them off and stick them on your windows or your doors. And they are not supposed to come to your home and solicit. If they do, please call us and let us know. The police are very proactive in making sure that they check. Brianna and I do the solicitor letters, and we do the permits here, and the police department and the fire department, everyone gets CC'd on it, so everyone knows that the solicitors are out there, the companies they work for. And if you have problems, let us know, because we do not have to issue a permit to them if we've had a problem. And, but if we don't know about it, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So please call us if you would like the stickers or if you have any problems with any solicitors, okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much for
The
that
other thing that works
information.
really well is if you do do have a ring camera, we just will always say that into the ring camera when we see somebody come up.
Oh, that's I've
Like,
been
do you
thinking
have-
about getting
I
a
don't
ring
see your
camera.
ID, please leave.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, I do think that this is an issue with seniors. I brought this up a couple of weeks ago, so I'm gonna ask if anyone's on the Senior Concerns Commission to get the word out to seniors mainly. I think, me and trustee, Khalid had talked about this months and months ago with the roofers coming out. And it is a prolonged issue, especially with the bad weather, so each time they come in, I know that Cheryl had like 50 permit requests after the bad storm, at least. And so this is a problem. There are solicitors out there. The no soliciting will help. Also getting the word out, reading the fine print is extremely important, because even a roofer, a lot of times, they tell you they can get money through insurance, and there's a disclaimer on the bottom that says, if we don't, you are
Right, you're
liable for it.
responsible, yeah.
You are responsible, and that's something to keep, wary of, because you will be responsible if suddenly the claim doesn't go through. And that's happened to people I've known, so this is an issue as well.
The one that came to our house tried to tell me, your husband agreed to it, and I laughed. I said, my husband has one line, you need to talk to my wife. She handles this. So I'm like, nope, you lose on that one too.
So that's something to be careful.
I think I want to add something to it with the senior commission. We do need to go out to them, reach out to them and tell them what other programs are available, not only for solicitor coming to the door, because they get a lot of phone calls. I think one of the officers, she was there, she explained everything properly. I think we need to, as a senior citizen, we need to work together with them and let them know what the issues are and how it is. And ring camera, I do have a ring camera, and some of these solicitors, they did approach to my house. I was never at your house. I said, well, here's the picture of you, you were there. So they know right away, and you ask them if you have a permit, and their answer is, oh, it's applied for. Okay, so all of those things they're gonna tell you, but the best thing to do is put the no soliciting sign, talk to your neighbor is the best thing. They come out to you, they belong to this village, okay? Some of them, they will have stickers on, they will have all these, they're like official. Just ask them, do you have a permit?
Right.
I'm working with Chief Kubush on this right now. See what we can expedite and how we can do this one with their pictures on it, okay? So this way we know that they're not just someone else applies for it and there is somebody else who's walking the door. Usually they work in a team of two. One is looking around your roof and someone else is
In your backyard,
it's
break it
taken,
through the
exactly,
yard.
so it have happened to me, because I have cameras on both sides. Oh, we were just looking at the roof. No, you're looking at more than a roof, it's not
Right.
just a roof issue. Anyhow, I think we need to have more word out. We
yeah.
are gonna be aware of the senior citizens, especially they are vulnerable, so we need to look into that, okay? That should be good for.
We had a guy a couple years ago, didn't just come soliciting, he pushed his way into my house. I was at work, my kids were teenagers, but they were alone,
Well, that's why the camera
and
system
my
works.
dog chased him 2
Yeah.
blocks down.
Khalid,
And the cop said, you owe your dog a steak dinner.
another thing with senior commissions is, internet fraud.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that at the.
I got one other day for my PayPal, someone had charged $800 to, I don't have a PayPal account.
I get that.
That's the same
Yeah,
kind
even
of
open
fraud
those.
that they do with the
The
roofing, of telemarketing is all day long. I get about 50 phone calls, or I'm not kidding you, I can prove to you that I get 50 emails saying that I owe this and you owe
Or your
this and you do
package is in
this, your
UPS.
package is in UPS, all those things. So the officer who was there, she really explained well to the senior citizen. I think we just need to be aware of it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on for this. Anything else we can talk?
I think that one possibility is for our Senior Concerns Commission to put together a little bit, just like they did how to use the internet, a little like blurb that clarifies some of these issues to our seniors that can go on the website or go to people, or if someone calls in with concerns.
Another concern for the seniors, it's not even a fully formed idea, but if we have seniors who don't have someone they can count on, like children or grandchildren, in the area, I wonder if the commission can, like, I'd be happy to mentor a couple that doesn't have someone that can say, just say no to everything.
Adopt a
Come to the senior,
Adopt a senior.
come to the seniors, commission
Yeah.
meeting, and then we can discuss some of those things.
Oh, that's,
Anything
okay.
else would be? Anything?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, you gotta have somebody you can count on.
Another topic. I have a 8-year-old a 4-year-old granddaughter. We like to go, we watch her every couple times a week because her parents work. She loves going over to Lufkin and go through the splash pad there, a lot of fun. But when I go there, that pad needs a lot of maintenance. It's around the edges, it's green, and it's just not kept. It needs to be pressure washed every now and then and cleaned up. It just doesn't look healthy. Where the water's running all the time, it's okay. But around the edges where it splashes and the like, it really needs to be monitored all the time. And I got another grandson that we take care of. They live in Elmhurst, and we go over to Barron's Park. They have a splash pad over there too. It's beautiful.
Oh, it is a wonderful splash
Always
pad.
clean. But, I go back over to, a couple days a week we're over there when the weather's warm at Lufkin. And that pad, it needs more regular maintenance.
So what I'll do is, Al, I'll bring this to the attention to Brian Roche, our Parks Director there, to talk about a schedule for pressure
Right.
washing that pad, because you're right, that is a concern too. That can be a health concern eventually if that adds up.
You're running around there with a 4-year-old,
Right.
they're not paying attention to anything but running through the water.
And it's
Yeah.
and it's slippery.
It's
It
slippery,
comes
right.
over,
Yeah.
So.
But I stopped over there just before I came here, and around the edges, it's just kind of gross.
And I do know that they're gonna be turning it off soon,
Yeah, I
for
figured.
winter, but we will make sure that we let them know that it needs a good pressure washing. And then we'll try to implement some sort of schedule for.
I think they should do it every week at least.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of algae around the edges.
Anybody else?
The garden commission video, is that under some other subheading as far as being taped, or was that not taped? And also the July copy with the board audio, is that available?
So I'll start at the first one. The Garden Village Commission was not taped. There was an issue with Suncom, who accidentally made a mistake that didn't know that they were supposed to be on the schedule. So what we ended up doing is recording it on a recorder. We will get that uploaded eventually for you to listen to. Moving forward though, with that, Suncom is aware of all of our meeting dates and times. And moving forward, barring some technical issues, we should be able to have those recorded regularly and posted up there. And then the audio from the last coffee with the board, I would have to. Okay, we'll check on that, Cheryl, and we'll have to check with the clerk.
And is there any reason that the meeting was changed and called a special meeting versus a village board meeting, and the
Tomorrow.
cow was canceled and now the regular meeting's at
Yeah.
6?
Yep, absolutely. The reason being is because there was no topic scheduled for a coffee with the board, so it didn't.
Or you mean cow?
Or cow, I'm sorry, yeah. Coffee with the Board, kind of getting them mixed up here. Committee of the Whole did not have a scheduled topic for that month, so therefore we thought we should cancel them too. The reason why the meeting time for the normal meeting was moved to 6 o'clock is to accommodate time and schedules on the board and as well as staff members here. That's why. In order to do that, we would have to make that a special meeting as opposed to a normally stated meeting, because our normal stated meetings are at 7.
Okay, cause the rumor was flying out that everyone changed it to watch the Bears game.
Oh, wow. I will tell you, that's a good
That's a
perk.
benefit.
And that is a good perk as well as doing that, but also, it was not changed just for the Bears game. I don't know how many Bears fans we have up here, I had a big one, but I did ask the board if they wanted to show their spirit and wear jerseys and Bears apparel on Monday, they're more than welcome. I hear you might even have some Viking fans, which I don't know, but no, this is to accommodate schedules. Anybody else?
Well, just a little can,
We can do that.
I know you got the agenda, you've got some road construction, but the time everything from, is gonna be done from Villa to Princeton.
I have to look at the.
I think that's on the agenda.
Look here.
And that's the road at the Metro bus goes down. And since they've been going down that road, it's kind of beaten the you-know-what out of it. And, you know, if they're just gonna do a grind and overlay, that's not gonna solve the problem, because of the weight that it's taking there, that's making the road deteriorate so fast. I think Metro ought to pay for part of that repair, because they're the ones that beat the crap out of it. So, but,
Not Metro Pace,
Pace,
instead of Metro.
oh, I did.
Okay, that's, okay.
Pace.
All
Yeah,
right.
so there were buses going down there, beating it up. I knew that was gonna happen since I saw it going down there all the time.
Going down.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're talking about the Highland Avenue resurfacing project.
It comes from Myers all the way down to
Washington to
Highland.
Highland.
But I how many buses go down?
Trucks.
Well, that's something that we could definitely bring to the attention of our Director of Public Works, Mike Guerra, and our village manager.
Yeah, because it looks like it's just gonna be pretty much a grind and overlay with some spot repairs, so. Yep.
Just to piggyback with your comment, as you know, that this sidewalk project, that how much money in the past we have allocated, and you were at the board here once, and you know that that really project needs some help. And we did not spend a whole lot of money, as you know, that you can look at the previous budgets. Even last year's budget, we spent a lot of money on the sidewalk repair, but it was not only for the sidewalk repair, it was for putting new sidewalks in, okay? So, of fairness to everybody else, you know, for the past 10 years, if you go back, we really have not spent a whole lot of money when you guys are sitting here at the board on the sidewalk repairs or anything like that. Moving forward, next year, what we have asked the staff, that we have some money coming in, thanks to Diane Blair, Sherlock, that she has brought in some money specifically to be used for these type of repair projects. That money is almost $600,000, okay? So, addition to that, we are asking the staff to come to the board with a lot more money than previously $100,000, $200,000. It's not going to make a big dent in repairing whatever need to be done with this the sidewalk repair project. So I specifically have requested the manager and also the public works director to bump up the number, so come up with a bigger number than what we're in, so we can catch up with that project. To answer you, previous administration, they did not really look into some of those things. That we are really paying attention to this now, that those projects need to be worked on immediately, not like let's work on something else, because these are the sidewalks we repair we walk on those every day. So these are the kind of concerns that we are really looking at. So, you know, piggyback with you, yes, definitely there are issues that, you know, they were not addressed previously, and now we're really looking into it deeply. Besides a lot of other things, even the budget, we talked about the budget. You know, we have, I know a lot of people are, residents, they're not happy about this, to know that we have two set of budgets, one for the board and one for the county. Okay, we are deeply looking into a lot of those things, that why are those two things are different. You know, we are new here, we're sitting here, even though comments were made that you've been here only 4 hours, that you're gonna make those decisions, how it's gonna affect the future of this town. I mean, go back, see what have happened and just wait another 12 months. That's what we are asking, and what we are asking the staff to look into the budget. Maybe the budget needs a lot more looking into from the previous, not only this, past 3, 4, 5 years. Maybe we need to look into a lot deeper than this. So these are the kind of things that we really have to pay attention to, rather than, yeah, we have this and we have that, but the seniors, the citizens, basically, they need to be aware of what's going on.
Can I comment? I think the question wasn't so much as to where the spending is, but to spend on that road a little bit more carefully so that it's a long-term solution.
That's it.
Yeah, so in that, definitely we will address that issue in terms of a long-term solution for that road. We will talk to Mike Guerra to see what can be done in that particular situation. Of course, as Trustee Khalid said, there is only a shortage of money, so we have to figure out where we put our funds. But it makes sense to have a long-term solution for Highland. I agree.
Glad you mentioned Highland. What is where Sterling used to be?
Yeah.
What is going to be at that corner?
It's a park.
That's-
Oh, I thought maybe that's what it
You can
was.
go there now, it's got
So-
the stripe and everything, it's
Really-
really.
Oh, because a couple times I've driven past it. What are they
Really
doing?
quick, Donna, I'd like to make a comment on your last thing about the rumor being that we're changing the meeting for a Bears game. Is that I just looked up, the Bears game starts at 7:15 p.m., which is an hour and 15 minutes after our board meeting at 6 starts. If you've been to some of our last board meetings, you
You
can
guys
see,
aren't gonna make it.
you can see that we're clearly
That's why I did not,
made
I
any time.
did not take that
So-
into consideration, because
so
I'm like, there's no
hopefully-
way they're gonna cover all this in an hour and 15
So
minutes.
hopefully you can kind of squelch some of those rumors based on our past performance up here.
Yeah,
Is there any,
when I saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty much garbage, because there's no way that our board will finish a meeting in an hour
It's
and
nothing
15
to do
minutes.
with,
Well, you could record it
So,
for heaven's
so if
sake.
that's it, that's that, but the Bears game starts at 7:15, I will be recording it. I will be wearing my Bears gear up here, and if you come to our meeting, I encourage you to as well. But any other comments for today?
Oh, can I just
Yeah.
piggyback to that? I just feel like if we don't have a cow meeting, if we can start at 6, we can get out a little bit earlier.
Well, and
And if
it's
I
here
can
to
get
staff
out before
too.
2 a.m., I'm really happy to do that.
Well, and it doesn't make staff sit around for their additional hour if they get to, like, their,
Okay, I
well, the
would
Bears
also,
game does not dictate the board meeting.
no.
So,
It could though, if you wanted to, you just let us know.
I would also like to say that we have changed a little bit of policy that staff makes its reports a little bit, I saw on the last agenda earlier, so that some of them can leave earlier in consideration for our 2 o'clock at night meeting.
session.
So I'm fine with that, guys. I'll be here at 2 if I need to.
I'm not
I'm
okay
not.
with being here.
I'm
not-
Meetings are-
You're not okay with
Professional meetings are held differently.
Everybody knows
I'm
I'm
up
a
at
night
5.
person, but
Can
that's
we
beside the
get
point.
the agendas out possibly by Thursday night? I feel by like Friday, it doesn't come out till 7 o'clock. And if there's a question that someone wants to draw staff because they can't make the meeting, and, it's probably not gonna get answered on Monday.
So there's a couple of answers for that. Is first of all, I'll give you the legal technical answer, is that Open Meetings Act requires that You
It's
get
48 hours.
hours prior notice. That is the bare minimum. That is what has to be done legally. Now, with everything that goes on in the municipality and everything that goes into the agenda, is that there are things that have to
Don't
be
know
put on
last
the agenda last
Last
minute.
minute, yeah.
So what we have been doing, and Cheryl's been doing a really great job of this, is that we've been submitting, what do we call it, draft agendas ahead of time that gives the board some sort of idea of what's going on out there. If for some reason you feel that you have a question or a concern based on the agenda that pops out on Friday, my recommendation would be is to email your concern that Friday or over the weekend to the board. The weekends leading up to a board meeting, I pay very close attention to my email just for those instances. Though you also have that opportunity to come to the meeting and speak under public comments.
I just want to add something to this same note. Cheryl, thank you very much for doing a wonderful job. She's been working late hours to make sure that all of this work got done. And Brianna, thank you for coming on board, and then you guys are working great as a team. Coming back, yes, we do get that in 48 hours in advance, but the issue is that, like President Kevin Patrick, he mentioned that we do get a draft agenda. And then we go back and forth with Cheryl saying, hey, could we move this one in a different, I don't have the question for this. And that is one of the reasons that our meetings are no longer 2 a.m. because some of those questions are answered way before. We do send out emails requesting, hey, I have a concern, I have a question about this particular item that need to be either I address to the manager, Rivas, or to the staff saying that I need clarification on this. These are the reasons that we are getting much better. Not like before, last minute, she's working 2 a.m., just like the board was working 2 a.m. Thank you for doing this. So we're planning and we are moving forward with much better system in place now than what we had before. Staff is very happy. She can tell you how grateful she is right now because most of the work is being given to her. She can finish that on a timely basis, not like she's putting the budget thing in system in place because some of these things were not done accordingly. So coming back, yes, we can put it on way before 48 hours. But given the timeline and whatever we do to save the time on the board here and also with the staff, it does make sense at that Friday night.
Is it a straight 48 hours or 48 business hours?
It's 48 hours, as
Just
far
a
as,
straight 48
as far as
hours?
Open Meetings Act goes, 48 hours. However, a meeting cannot,
Just wondering.
yeah, a meeting cannot be held on a holiday,
Oh, right.
so.
Also keep an eye on the weekly report that the manager's
Yes.
office puts out, because there is a column on the right-hand side that will start kind of bullet points of what's coming up, even if it's 2 weeks out.
Oh, okay.
I'd also like to say our agendas have gotten much shorter and much more reasonable right now, and things have changed. Maybe the exuberance of the new administration existed before, but now it's much shorter to begin with. We won't be here till 2 o'clock most likely. We might even get to the end of the Bears game.
Well, that brings back to when we have order in place. The agenda was a lot longer because there was a lot of issues, a lot of things, a lot of concern need to be addressed. Now, if you pay attention to some of these other towns, there's no town in the state of Illinois that goes into a 2 a.m. session, okay? We don't. And believe me, we also have family and we also have a business to take care of as well the next day. So there is no way that you can make common sense decision sitting here at 2 a.m. That's the reason that we are pushing things in a different way. So bringing house in order is a priority, and I think we are doing a good job doing it.
Another area that was kind of cloudy and I didn't quite understand, like I'm going to be in the cast for 2 months, mid-September. So I'm not going to be able to attend meetings, so you don't get to hear me confirm squeal. But when you send a letter in, is it strictly supposed to go to Ralph, or if I wanna send something deeper, I wanna send something to Khalid and say, can you read this? If they feel comfortable reading that, can they read it, or does it have to go through Ralph and sent to the entire board? It was a little gray area because I think Carrie said there were some emails that she didn't feel comfortable speaking about.
So reading emails is unnecessary, coming from the clerk or anybody else to read into public comment. If the trustee has something to say they want to say during their trustee comment, have at it. But if you have something to say to the board, send it to the board.
Well,
I
what
don't
I'm,
see what the point is of, if you can't attend and you're not making a comment, that somebody else has to read your email. I mean,
no, it's
it just opens it up to all sorts of things, anonymous emails, bogus emails.
if it's a signed email from a resident and you want to,
Right. Well, you heard what I
Right,
just said. It doesn't need to be read by the clerk. If you can lure a trustee into reading your email, have at it. But if you want to speak to the trustees, email the trustees.
okay, cause the way it sounded was that
Doesn't matter, you got the
Anything had
answer
to
though,
be-
right? You understand it?
I understand what you're saying,
Great.
but the way it made it sound like was that it had to
But
strictly
it
go
doesn't
through
matter what it
Ralph.
sounded like, you're clear on it now.
Correct,
Okay, great.
I do get emails from residents, you know what I do?
and if you think it's important to have that heard, then you'll read it with their
No.
permission.
During
No,
trustee
no,
comments.
No, it's during trustee comments, okay, so
Okay.
you don't have to read that line by line, but at the same time, if a resident sending me a concern saying, hey, we have roofers starting 6 AM, what can you do about it? So I'm not gonna,
You're not gonna read that in the record.
I'm not gonna read that in the writing, okay, in the public comments or any place else, but I will forward that email to a proper personnel, proper staff member. So let them come back to me with that answer, then I will reply back to you if it's your concern or somebody else. We have done that, okay, so not necessarily that we have to read an email line by line. So, you know, this is one of the things, in a public comment, 3 minutes, right? So if you write me an email, which is 2-3 pages long, I'm not gonna sit here and read that.
Right,
Okay, so the thing is, if you cannot make to the board meeting, yes, you can send your concern either to the trustee or to a clerk, and it's up to our discretionary
And
that
if
how.
I would like read into public record, and if you felt comfortable, then
Well,
you could read it in during your report, if you felt comfortable.
If we feel comfortable, that's one thing, but
Right.
on the other side, when you're sending an email, it's already a public record. You can
Right.
FOIA it.
Okay,
And some
got
people
it.
are good at it, you know, they just FOIA 50 items in one way or the other, taking up so many things. But we can, you know, we are here to assist you with any other way. We are here to assist in whichever way we can help you. I mean, I have forwarded concern from the citizen, which I am still waiting on from the staff. But, you know, some of those things I'm not gonna read here in public.
I get that, yes.
So something that council had also told us at the dais was, you know, you have to be careful of what sounds like us speaking as trustees. And
Versus
when we are
what-
here, we are representatives of Villa Park. And that struck me as the representative of Villa Park as I sit here in this seat. So I do agree that if you're sending me an email, it's already public record. I will address things in a very high level, like I've heard from a resident. I'm not gonna read,
You don't
Right.
never anybody else.
if it's something that is actionable, I will take the action on it. Other than that, I think that it needs to come from the person's voice who feels that way. Does that make sense? If it's opinion, then it needs to be somebody's opinion, that person's opinion, it needs to come from their voice. That's kind of where I sit because of what council has advised us.
My feeling is different. If someone sends me an email, I'm gonna read the email as that person if they need it to be read. I will discern whether it needs to be read or not. I will use my judgment if someone sends an email that is incendiary, unnecessarily worded in a sense I won't be reading it. But if it isn't, and it says what I wanna say, I will read it during my trustee comment. Now, so that's your option, whether you want it read or not. So that's my feeling on that, and that's how I'm going to.
And trustee Kumar, you are entitled to that as well, but I think the point that trustee Alfano was saying is that in communication, it's all about how you present it. And communication can be misconstrued, even if you're reading verbatim. The intent, the purpose, the tone, and the structure of that is different being read by a board member than it is by an actual voice out there. So what I'm getting at is you are entitled to do that. That is absolutely correct. But what you have to consider is, do you match the same tone? Do you match the same voice as that? And by you doing that, you can misconstrue what a resident is actually trying to portray.
I think I can discern that to a certain extent, and I will use my judgment. I won't be reading every email. I think I have the ability to discern what the tone of an individual is, quite frankly, and what they're feeling, and that's how I've always been a trustee, and I continue to be a trustee that way.
I like to say something back to that. You know, we are here to conduct a board meeting. Okay, you know, we don't sit here and when we are discussing board meeting, we're not sitting on a coffee table and discussing some of these things. The issue here is if a resident has a concern, they send an email to me. This is not a popularity contest that I have to sit here and read the entire email or something like that and take up the entire board's time. The concern need to be the issue need to be discussed in a level that resident concern is taken care of. Okay? If they have a concern, they can send the email to the board or to an individual, and their answer could be provided to them in the same manner, rather than taking up the entire board time. If the concern belongs to a certain department, it could be discussed with that particular department, and the answer could be delivered to that resident, rather than sitting here again, 2 a.m. sessions. Well, that's one of the things that we want to avoid, that we don't want to have those long sessions. We want to make sure that if the resident has a concern, that concern has been taken care of properly. Not to have a popularity contest that's saying that, hey, I want to read this email because I got this email and I have my time, I want to read that email. I make a difference here on that. We need to make sure that their voice is heard and is being heard properly.
So
And sometimes we get emails that are meant to, poke at other people that we sit next to. And we just, I won't fall into that, and some
But
people
again-
do, so
But again,
that's not what this is about, it's about discussion and policy.
and again, just to kind of bring this conversation to an end here, is that is ultimately up to each individual board member on whether or not they feel comfortable or not with doing that. So they are allowed to, you know, I agree with you and trustee disagree, but it's up to them.
All right, 3 minutes are up.
So we're gonna get to Vicky. Vicky, you've been waiting patiently, go ahead, and we've got a few more minutes here, so we'll get you in.
5 minutes, I don't think it's anywhere, maybe a little bit more than that, but, one thing I wanted to bring up is, looking at the website and looking anywhere, anyhow, I did not find one thing on the calendar or anything about the autumn festival. It's not on the calendar. I told 2 people on staff saying, hey, can you please get this on the calendar? Sure, we'll take care of that. Hasn't taken care of.
Thanks,
It's not promoted, it's not anything, it's nowhere on our website.
thanks for bringing that to our attention.
It's
Appreciate it.
probably,
Yeah.
6 weeks, guys. So, just wanted to do that because I think they are still kind of skeletons and tables. I don't think, does anybody know what it is? What? The autumn festival? I do. There you go,
So just to touch base on autumn, Just to touch base on Autumn Jubilee,
Jubilee,
Mary's
sorry,
here,
whatever.
Mary's here is that, everybody knows Joyful Traditions on the Prairie Path, right? With the Christmas trees that are out there as well. Villa Park, has a strong history of really getting into Halloween season around here. So Mary came up with the great idea to kind of replicate what Joyful Traditions does. And the commission has skeletons that you can purchase, that will be at each light post, that you can decorate. And during Autumn Jubilee in the season, our streets will be lined with decorated skeletons instead of Christmas trees like Autumn Jubilee.
There you go.
Go ahead.
You keep going.
I keep going, so this is the agenda for Monday, and I have a concern regarding your resolution of immigration enforcement.
Okay.
So, I have a few concerns regarding this one. And popular, unpopular, and whatever it may be. My concern would be is, I understand that, they should not be stopping someone specifically to ask them if they are illegal immigrant, what their immigration status is, 100%. But the couple things that concern me regarding this is, one, we state in here that the Villa Park Police Department and its officers shall not perform or support the functions of federal immigration officers or otherwise engage in enforcement of federal immigration law. Granted, why are we not supporting our federal government? A, if they are here, we should support them. Two, if an incident breaks out while they are performing their duties, do our police officers just stand there? These guys start beating them up, shooting at them, or doing something whatever, do they just stand there?
So to answer your question, if there's a crime being committed in our municipality, if there is a federal troop or an ICE agent that a police officer witnesses being badgered or beat up or bullied, they are in their full capacity to enforce the law.
Our police officers.
Our police officers, if a crime
That
is being
doesn't really
committed.
say that.
However, what we are saying though is that we as a municipality and our police department will not support the ongoing efforts of customs and immigration enforcement here within Villa Park.
So, why would we not? So what happens if someone goes to 7-Eleven and holds them up, and they are committing a crime?
I just said,
Okay,
The
so
police
they
will
will
be
be
able
able
to
to do,
enforce
will
that.
they ask, no, I'm not talking about ICE, I'm saying our police officers. They are committing a crime at whatever, this gas station or
our
whatever.
police officers are
No,
doing
not
that
our
crime?
police officers. Our police officers are going to, there's someone committing a crime at one of those. Our police officers know ICE isn't here, okay, ICE is not here, but they go to that crime, then they do pick up the person who's holding up the gas station or whatever, so like, can they and will they and ask them for their immigration status?
Our police department is going, our police department is gonna conduct their investigation the way they do with every investigation. Regardless if it's immigration related or not.
Okay,
Police departments ask for ID if a crime is committed. They will detain or arrest a person and hold them in jail, send them to county if need be, depending on what that is. But our police department is going to enforce the law here in Villa Park if a crime is being committed.
So you're turning Villa Park into a sanctuary city by saying that we don't support the federal government, any
First of all,
immigration.
state law that they can't do that, it's not Villa Park's choice, it's state law.
it's state law.
So we don't really have an option
So
there.
it's following,
Here's
Yeah.
the little
it's
transfer.
writing, it's putting in writing that we are following the state law rather than following federal law.
I do think that there is a good valid point there that we should probably put it in writing that we are following the state law as well.
But federal law should take precedence over state law, and that's why they had the Civil War.
Hold on, we're going in a debate in a different direction
Well, that's, I have a
about
question.
state rights versus federal rights, and this is not where we're going at with this discussion.
What else?
Just kind of curious as to what our resolution says, because I want to make sure that our police officers are supporting them if they need help.
If, like again, Vicky,
That's
If a
where the
crime is-
National Guards come.
if a.
I was just gonna say, the National Guard will come into Villa Park then.
Okay, let me.
If they
That's
have
fine.
to.
I did it kind of.
Posse,
I
commissars, they can.
understand.
Okay, any other questions? Mary, go ahead.
I would just like to I was going to talk about the skeletons, which is our first priority now with Autumn Jubilee. We still are working, believe it or not, thanks to certain people that want it to be huge. We have some things that are not set in stone yet, but they will be. We have a special meeting on Tuesday, right here, if anybody's interested in coming at 5:30. But as far as the skeletons go, they will be on the prairie path from Villa to Summit. Not the whole prairie path like the Christmas trees, there's only 20 of them. And we have 15 sold. So the rest are up for grabs. If anybody's interested in sponsoring one, you can get that paid for $50, and you can either take it home with you at the end, or you can donate it back to the village for next year. And if it's a good thing, we'll extend it further and further every year. But you can do that at the Villa Park Recreational Center. They'll take cash check charge.
Thank you.
And then we'll get that information. There'll be a little voice bubble that you can put in the skeleton's mouth saying what you want. The funny commission says, I told you I was sick, but then your family will be noted on there as well. And hopefully by next week, we'll have information on the TVs and everywhere that they can put information about Autumn Jubilee on the 18th. Yes, ma'am.
I wanna say that maybe 15 skeletons isn't, I mean, if 15 are sold enough, we might wanna, is it not
Well,
available?
they've been sold, they've been on sale since August 5th. So it's not like there's a big heat rush. We do have the opportunity maybe to get more, so they can double up on the spikes. But, you know, the way it works, our event is from Villa to Summit, it doesn't make sense to kind of go past that.
Oh,
But yeah, if we get a rush, we have until another week or two, we can add some more,
No,
maybe
I'm just
double up.
curious about that, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a great event. There's gonna be vendors, there's gonna be community partners in this.
Entertainment.
Entertainment, there's gonna be live music,
You need a few more skeletons.
Halloween themed live music as well. So it's gonna be a very nice event. And Mary, the Youth Fund Commission have done an outstanding job with growing Autumn Jubilee over the last couple of years. Each year it's gotten better and bigger, and we hope to continue on that path, so thank you for everything you've done. Before we leave here really quick, I want to introduce everyone to Nick Westling. If you have noticed, his name is on the agenda for Monday night. Hopefully, the board agrees with his appointment to the newly formed Green Commission, so say hello to Nick. Sorry to put you on the spot.
Just to piggyback on the Mary and Vicky saying that event wasn't, I saw it once and then it disappeared off the radar. And when it first came out, it was on social media and nothing has appeared since.
So that's something that we're gonna address.
Yeah, I
There is
just
a
wanted,
breakdown in
there was
communication.
one communication and then that was it, it's silence.
Yeah, there has been some sort of breakdown in communication from the staff liaison to get that out there, so we will have that corrected.
It's also still 6 weeks out.
I'm one of those people that thinks you don't wanna promote it for 2 or 3 months because then it goes away real quickly in people's minds.
So-
I don't think that we're really, we might be missing a boat for some people, but it's 6 weeks away. And I think keeping it fresh and exciting and new, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not covering up anything, but, you know, we have our plans to get everything this week to people.
And the skeletons have been promoted.
Yeah, and that's gonna look really nice on the prairie path, really fun. All right, so while we wrap it up here, we're gonna, any last questions before we close the meeting? All right, seeing none, Monday night, 6 o'clock is our special board meeting. Not because of the Bears game, but because of schedules. But we are all more than welcome to celebrate being Bears fans, and if you're a Vikings fan, that's okay too, I guess. But we will see you Monday. We are going to adjourn this meeting at 10:06. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Good night.